points of dust2, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of those battles. On dust2, however, I think this is just really a question mark of, are we going to see a third map? Like, G2 are sick on this map. I feel like Dignitas came very close to making it a potential possibility to see map 3, but to beat G2 on dust2 would be enormous.
Well, the other thing is about that car position is we know that G2 do have smoke strategies to counter that very position. They do throw out the smokes. We've seen Shox even throw one from long in the past, but this is the build-up. We are looking at Rubino with the Dig, and a little bit of utility in the form of MSL. And on the other side of things, just the kit left onto body. Not going for anything too crazy, but in terms of the setup, we've actually got a couple of players at long at the moment.
Yeah, spread out, but still grouped 2-3. Scream looking for the aim for the jump. Oh, wow, that's crazy. And taking some pot shots, not going to be able to get one, though, and will probably have a hard time falling back, though he has a teammate take attention away from him. Very nice. And now has made his way to Game Helper. Some headshot angles, but Config still erases him, and Rubino with the deagle is looking for the shot. No, can't find it. Smiths evens out. It's a 3v3. The bomb will get planted. Control of long is taken, but a lot of health lost on Dignitas.
Yeah, the timing of that split was good. They just didn't see Smiths coming. Shox over on short body. Actually going to try and retake long with the combination of Smiths. They're going to go together here. They've got to get rid of Cajun. He's going to be the bait. He doesn't have any health. Cajun missing a lot of shots and will eventually be punished now by Body. He's going to make this move. He has the kit as well. Shox is baiting them towards short as they try and retake it. Magisk is down. It's all onto MSL. He had a good first map, but it's not going to be enough here. Shox rips his head off. That's the round for G2, and Smiths, massive impact.
Yeah, enormous impact. Getting to 2 frags. Essentially, we just saw G2 win a 3v5. You wouldn't regard the round as that because they didn't have time to cool down before it was a 3v5, but Smiths finding those 2 trades, staying alive, hella important. And then Shox, as Dignitas decided to push over Cat because they had lost control of long. This Cajun took a little bit too much time to get that first kill. Maybe could have got the second one. And decided to try to isolate Shox on Cat, but he was too nuts. Got both of those kills for himself after the bomb was down.
Whoa! Speaking of Shox, though, there he goes. MSL with the Dig. Starting things off nicely. They will pick up an SMG. Not the most valuable weapon when you don't have any armor, but definitely the potential to make money behind it. And that's always something to take into consideration. Of course, they only have 1 rifle on the board. That's in the hands of Body. And, of course, the sniper onto Smiths. Looking like they're edging their way towards the B side. Now, they do have the rotator position of Scream. But other than that, this is going to solely rely on Body. The good thing about his position, though, is it's quite a long-range angle, and he does have a M4, but now he seems to move away.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess he's going to come back, but yeah, this group up towards B could have caught him off guard. And he also has the best gun in the server, so a lot of kills potential here, and he's going to look for the lineup. Will he be able to shoot one down? He does get one, and Scream's already there to help him right away.
Nice little crossfire there. Eventually, we will see all the players drop. Scream getting a 4K in that round. And, well, it looked like it could have gone back the other way. Definitely by some of the timing positions. But Body, he does play it well in the end. And Scream, well, he just has everybody dragged towards him, makes a nice bit of cash with the SMG, and finishes it off with the pistol. So, AK's back on the board. A bit of a bonus round coming out for G2 at the moment. They keep the Scout, the SMGs in play as well. But a lot of utility, something that's definitely limited at the moment for Dignitas. But something they don't limit is weaponry and aggression straight out long. Already taking quite a bit of control. RPK, well, you always speak about the idea of trying to retake this. Don't want to give this position of the map away. It's going to be very difficult, especially when the AKs are in play now.
Yeah, no, a lot of resources have been expelled already for both sides. Actually, Dignitas only have a single flash now. They've got 3 smokes, but only 1 flash to help complement the smoke. So the G2, even though they're at a weapons disadvantage, have a little bit of utility left. And it's actually mostly in variety, are kind of running low as well.
Well, they did rotate Smiths to a longer position. The fact is, Dignitas, they've decided against going for that push. Could be a limitation in their utility or just the fact that they haven't actually found any kills by taking over long. They will leave Magisk there, so there is still a presence towards long, but the ultimatum they have made is to go back towards the B site. This leaves a couple of players left to try and make something work. The flashbang is
So
going to go out, and now we wait for this push to come in. They got 40-odd seconds to go, so not anything too crazy. They now have the rotation. Well, Magiski could be crucial here. Now looking at the push. Body, he finds the first. Going for the second as well, gets it. Now down to Scream, but he peeks out wildly and his trades across the board as Magisk finds another one towards middle. Two players rotating in. Magisk is just going to be a pain in mid, and well, a lot of damage being done. Smiths with the scout, of course, tagging away, and this does give us a much better opportunity for RPK with the SMG, especially if he can catch Cajun, who's very, very low on HP, but he finds the headshot. Important that he does. Now Smiths has a decision to make.
oh,
Is it really worth going
is he
for
going to
too
hear
much?
though? Yeah, he's going to hear this. So they know that there are two players on site. They know that Cajun. Actually, they might not know that he's hurt. Oh, he's all alone, however. I thought they had a teammate, and there's Magic Boy. Really important. He ended up getting 3 kills on that round, right? One from his lurk, coming late to mid, and it was kind of cool. They escorted him out to long. He threw, not like a huge fake, but just caused presence on the other side of the map while they were grouped up in B, and they timed it so that he walked in. But Body picked up those 2 frags, and I thought, wow, G2, it doesn't really matter. G2 relied on their sight holds once again. They have this locked up, and 3 kills come out of nowhere. So good cleanup overall. G2 now don't have much money. It's just a bit of armor for RPK. And oh, Scream.
Yeah, an interesting position, boosting up on the box, the corner. Has to fall back in the end. Of course, Deagles, we've seen them make high impact already all the way across the tournament. Bodies, 3K, absolutely influential in their win. Of course, coming down to just 3 rounds, and I think there was probably about 5 or 6 rounds that came down to huge individual performances. Flash through middle. Not going to go anywhere too aggressive. And MSL looking to pick up these sort of entry kill roles at the moment. He has been pretty good. I think dropping 22 frags in the last map. Scream now holding this position, trying to go for a jump shot. That nade could actually be detrimental. Doesn't actually connect. A little bit too far back, and we are still waiting.
Oh, Scream just trying to get info, and looks like not super hungry for a fight. Not exactly in that choke point. Will just lock down the door, but players coming through window probably get to shoot him in the back. Comes through the door, gets killed by Magic Boy, and that's the B site, so the split is successful. 40 seconds left, gonna put the bomb down. Overall, pretty quick rounds. And G2 are instantly just going to posture up for exits.
Smith's losing his head. RPK has a little bit of Kevlar, which could be of some value as they try to go for something in the next round. Shocks not going to have any impact, and if he could get a gun, that's the best case. I don't think there's too much more that can be expected of him right now, and or even just taking that little bit of damage means that there's no just buying the head armor for 350. He will have to fully purchase if he wants it. Probably just going to go for the Kevlar anyway, but he'll be dropped. Now G2 going to have enough money to go for that rebuy, maybe even an AWP onto Smiths.
Really good by Dignitas to steal back the momentum. They're running a critical round from the 3v5 spot. I mean, same thing happened on the pistol to them, so maybe it was just their karma to pull that back, and it might have been more of an important round than anything else. So at this point, both teams fighting to take a lead at a very crucial point in the game where not a lot of money has been made, and RPK goes down instantly on this long hold, and it's actually Shocks. Ooh, with the patient shooting, managed to get 1, but traded out instantly by MSL. Looking very favorable for the terrorists right now.
Yeah, now they have long control again. It seems to be somewhere they're having quite a lot of positive momentum, able to take over these positions. Scream goes for the peak, the timing almost there. He gets MSL, in fact, but Config is very quick on these trades, and this is good work by Dignitas, keeping that man advantage in check. Body has gone for a peek over towards mid, but he has 2 positions to hold on to right now. Smiths looked like he was holding the cross, but he's still aware that they were towards long just moments before. So he's going to have to peek all the way around, and by the time that actually happens, they're going to be heading their way towards B. Only a minute left on the clock at the moment, and you just have to look towards Body. His
Body.
position, he's got to do so much work here. He basically has to end the round on his own, or at least get 2. So this is huge pressure. The flash actually going to be thrown out. They know exactly where he is, though, and Config, he's ended this round in his track. There's no hope for Smith here. He just has to save this weapon.
Yeah, he felt it coming, that timing, but he thought that potentially someone would come late on the mid walkout and that he could just focus on tunnels and try to set that up. He was just a moment away from being able to shoot and take a fight like fairly. But ultimately, it's all about Dignitas trading really, really well.
Ooh,
Down to the last kill.
Well. Cajun's going to get the AWP, so that's a free upgrade for him. Waiting late into the round towards the spawn, and well, Smiths doesn't have any armor, so he's quickly losing his life.
If G2 are going to have lackluster TT sides, they will be put to the test by Dignitas. This is the team to do it. They will really run you dry and have a lot of different strategies, different approaches, and it's a way to dismantle you. And if you're too afraid to get aggressive, G2 are too afraid to get aggressive, might cost them. So wouldn't want to see that. They run on confidence, and they usually run high.
Yep. In terms of buy, no utility, no armor, just some pistols, and, well, I say just. Can make an impact. There's Smiths with one, looking for a little bit more. There goes Config, though. Should be able to find both kills, and this leaves just Shocks left to try and do something with the Dig. Almost manages to grab down Rubino, but 10 HP is enough, and he'll just keep his rifle into the next round.
Yep, and you just got to go round by round. We're going to have another rifle round coming out for G2. I wonder what the spells for them in terms of how much. Just gotta put RPK on the hot seat. 6 rounds into the game, 0-5. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, so not the best start for RPK. Smiths back on that AWP, and MSL going for a little bit of a bonus, but this is just because of aggression. Actually caught out with a nade in hand there. Screen peeks out, but it's still only going to be one. This leaves Body completely isolated on the site. Luckily for him, Shocks has come in from behind, but he's down to just 1 HP. He's actually in the smoke. They're surrounding each other at the moment. Body comes out, but Config is there. Ends his life back to a 3 versus 3, but in the meantime, Shocks has actually retaken B.
Wow, what a
Rubino with a
sick
nice shot onto Smiths, and actually now they're all but set to go back towards that A side. They've completely opened it up. The rotations have been primed and ready. Now Shocks, he's realized what's going on, but there's absolutely nothing he can do about this because they're already going to be on the site. They'll have to just go for some sort of a retake. RPK ready and waiting. Shocks has got himself into CT, and we'll now hear that bomb being planted. Actually, he's got so close, but Config again. Big round coming out from him. This leaves just RPK. There's his first kill on the board. Looking for a little bit more here. Got to find the headshot onto Cajun, who's peeking with the AWP. Finds Rubino, but that's it. Cajun quick to trade.
Yeah, that's rough stuff. Really good rotates, though, again, by Dignitas, edging out in this team aspect that we keep highlighting, doing a really great job in opening up the rounds, but not just committing to sites right out the gate. Making on-the-fly adjustments is showing that they have a lot of cognitive ability, that the round isn't just going to rely on them entering on a site. Instead, they're going to play off of you, react, and that's how a lot of French CS works as well. Very reactive style, but they are answering with their own. Oh, Scream takes a lot of damage, and he has armor to work with, so it's going to be quite upset about that, I'm sure.
Magisk sprays down both. Nice control. Finding these early frags. Shocks going to go for the flash. Actually blinds up a couple of players, but Config ready to take that kill. And this is looking clean at the moment from Dignitas. Only Scream left, who was tagged down by 81 to 19.
First man hurt, last man to die. Again, he's not in a position to get super aggressive here. He can try to look for a pick, but anything he peeks will probably just be answered by some terrorist holding an angle. It looks like they're playing it pretty safe. And it's because he has not much to lose, and Dignitas know this, so they're not looking to lose any more guns, and good on them for realizing that. Making sure they work as a unit to keep their money healthy. Because in Counter-Strike, your money is your team's money.
Yeah, of course, available to drop if necessary. We are, of course, just going to wait for Scream. Not going to die in this round. Of course, keeping a Deagle and some armor, they are rebuying in the next, so there is now the potential for him to even drop an AWP or something of the sort over to Smiths, depending on how much money he actually saved up into this round, but that could be a big difference for them, so not really a big problem. They will, in fact, go for a double AWP setup. I think they did buy it themselves, which is fine, of course, but it does mean that he's able to get a little bit more. This time the tag will not come in for Cajun, but already they have 6 rounds on the board, and Dignitas are looking much, much better, but there goes Scream. Takes the peek early on. Quick to trade his Config, though, so not too much of a problem just yet, and in fact can even end up with an advantage for the T side.
I always like the double AWP adjustment to come out when you're losing rounds in a row. You save up for this setup, and you're putting a lot into it, but you're also giving yourself a much better chance of performing trades. And the flash comes out. What an interesting flash. Oh my gosh, it works out beautifully. The headshot not coming out quite yet. RPK struggling with it, and then getting caught off guard by Cajun in the trades. Once again, looking really good for Dignitas. 3v3, and then in the 5v5, sometimes it's CT-sided, but these 3v3 type scenarios where you only have one person, one CT per site, it can get really risky.
Now, Magic's getting quite far out. Mid, Shocks gets caught, and that's going to be the advantage now over towards Dignitas. Again, it's going to leave Body alone on the B site, and it does look like they're just going to slow walk through tunnels. This guy is going to have to do so much work here. I don't know if he's just spotted other players. It is going to all, he definitely knows now. Everybody coming his way, and Magic takes his head clean off. Another round that is almost certainly going the way of Dignitas. And they are just methodically cleaning out. The Molotov will catch Cage. Actually catch him twice.
That's a spicy
He's actually
round
just
from
going to
Cage.
wait. There we go. Now he knows. Bomb plant, nice and easy. Smiths,
Cage
all he can do is look for an exit.
Addicted to the heat. Can't get enough. And yeah, I love seeing Body getting put to the test over and over again. It seems to be a very apt B player, but he did just get caught off guard. Last round he got caught off guard throwing that flash. That seemed like it was potentially going to be a really good play. And kind of unfortunate timing for him. I think in this situation maybe could have just been a little bit more static about what position he wanted to be in. And it seems like wanted to get up on double stack, but took too long to make that choice. Oh.
Whiff from Smiths, the potential to force an AWP rebuy. They now know exactly where he is as well. This could be the clinical moment. Molotov's going to go out. He's just got to try and survive, and Cage him will in fact be the one to end him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a whiff there. Those ones definitely the hardest. You know, the interesting thing about aim is some people who play like, have you played like Quake or like any 1v1 arena FPS?
Yeah, well, a little bit of Quake, not anything too crazy.
Yeah, so like some people don't like the tracking aim is like sometimes very difficult, and not to justify him missing that shot, he definitely shouldn't have missed it. But some people aim and have a better hit rate by flicking even small distances. So they'll like purposefully aim beside a target before they want to aim to it and then flick to it, because it can be really difficult to just move your mouse slowly. And again, not to justify that miss, that was a pretty bad whip. But I think we do see some oppers with that style of shooting.
Yeah, well now we're on to a tactical pause. Very early on. It is a high pressure situation now for G2. They've lost, what, 7 rounds? T side of Dignitas. It's looking like you're going to get your wish of seeing the pressure on G2 on their T side.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't even look, well, if they do go for a buy in the next round, I don't think he'll have an AWP behind it. Of course, there was a little bit of money saved by Scream from not buying armor, but I don't think that would be anything that's going to change the game.
I'm talking about Scream. He actually opened up the round by getting the kill that Config traded. I think in that situation, he had the opportunity to go back behind that wall, and once it was 5v4, probably should have forced Dignitas to rethink what they were doing, because they were trying to get away with a fast cat. And when the trade came out, it opened up the round again for Dignitas, so maybe getting a little bit too up on himself, and probably should have slowed it down in that situation.
They are actually going to buy, so yeah, it's not the best buy in the world. They don't have the AWPs anymore. Body already being tagged, and he's been the linchpin of this B site. They've been pushing it quite a lot, actually, with a lot of success. The rotations that Dignitas are pulling out of G2 have been one of the major problems, and they're actually going a little bit heavier over towards middle right now. Only 2 players on the A site. It looks like we're having some sort of restart. I don't know what just happened there. Somebody dropped from the server or something. I imagine this is some sort of technical position, but
Those probably just match medic this for whatever happened. Not entirely sure. Game state integration showing us that the original score was 2-7. Yeah, I'm sure this will just be fixed in a moment.
a little bit problematic as well, because Body did actually get
I say we
tagged
just let him
through
out of the
the
booth and see a fist fight. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
How do you feel about that? UFC was on yesterday. I'm hyped up.
Shocked. Started the last map impeccably well.
Yeah, he started off to, oh, I don't know. Did he have the same pistol?
I don't even know if they won the pistol, because I remember them winning a follow-up round where he aced by not having a gun. But I think they may have done. I can't remember. There was too many crazy things in that game for me to remember the pistol.
That game was a highlight reel and a half.
Of course, at the moment, Cage definitely having a good start to this one. I felt like a lot of their players had, though. Config's been doing well, Magisk as well.
Yeah.
MSL still finding those early frags.
Yeah, all players quite capable for sure. Cajun, when they staged that comeback on Cobble, on CT side, he was the rock for them at Chicken Coop, getting 2 kills every time they exec B. This time's really interesting because Dignitas are playing, not like, they're playing structured. They're doing like a really rotational based T side, which is nice, because sometimes the structured stuff, the out of spawn executes, it gets kind of stale, and I don't really like how teams sometimes won't try to gather information and instead execute. But we are seeing that from Dignitas, and it's really cool because that adaptive playstyle is one of the hallmarks of G2.
That
And
shot.
yeah,
That shot was really nice. Magisk here. See, a lot of these rounds, it's showing how weak the economy is because I think, well, 2 of the 4 highlight reels was against Pistols, just because their economy is getting reset so often at the moment for G2. They went for that heavy buy with the AWPs. That didn't work either. And again, that's a lot of money to spend to not win a round. Now, well, from what we saw after the pause, they did actually go for a buy. I don't know whether they'll. Well, I'm guessing they're not allowed to change their mind, but at the same time, if you're forcing them to
I think
rebuy again,
I think if you're forcing them to rebuy again, maybe don't pull off that buy. There's like 3 Fomuses. They didn't have a lot of nades, and CD side is quite difficult on dust2 without nades. The resources can go a long way. Even though the rotation points and stuff like that are very short, there's just so many ways to use them.
at the same time, that means giving an 8th round almost indefinitely to Team Dignitas. And well,
Yeah.
normally their CT side on most maps, actually including this one a lot of the time, is the better side for them. They're very good at their CT sides.
G2, well, I think G2 actually up until this
I was
tournament had
on
struggled.
Dignitas, but
Oh, Dignitas, yeah, for sure.
their CT side. But I do feel like a lot of that comes down to setups, and they do have a lot of hot aimers.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
I don't know. We'll see whether or not that is actually the case. Of course, still in some sort of technical pause. Looks like it may be Rubino? I don't know. Yeah, a few people moving around. Actually, he's just stood up with the team. So looks like maybe it was, well, I suppose if it's a technical pause called in by Dignitas, then you can't really do anything in terms of the damage done to G2. Because that's normally the sort of thing that you take away, that if a player is damaged, then that round has to continue. But at the same time, if it's the team that would technically be in the lead, I guess, in the round, I don't think G2 are going to be complaining too much.
Yeah, if some damage had, I don't think any damage had. There was no damage that round, right?
Body got hit through the door.
Oh, okay.
It depends when the thing, also when whatever happened broke. Because it did
Yes.
seem that the pause was called in pretty damn quickly. So
It'd be cool if someone told us.
yeah, it would be nice. Although it means we have less to talk about in terms of speculation.
That's true. Yeah, we can get real conspiratorial out here.
It's
We can
Illuminati,
somehow,
man.
yeah, link this to Zeitgeist and just get real deep into this, 4 levels deep.
See, this is Red Eye. He was tampering with the PCs earlier when he was playing.
Yeah, he's always been salty about Dignitas.
Yeah, well, he was actually saying that he was playing, well, not with this Danish team, but he said he was playing with Modi's config. Maybe he's just not quite happy with what went down, so he's decided to try and sabotage
Maybe
them.
Madi like farted in a cereal when he was 8 or something.
Maybe that's it. Red Eye just hasn't made that.
That's why we're in a pause right now.
Yeah, Modi's not in this roster, but he is in the sort of Danish mix at the moment. Although he's not
Oh,
Danish,
yeah, that's
is
right. I just got that confused for some reason.
he? Maybe it was like Rubino. Just gave
Yeah,
him a
maybe he
dirty
just
look
hated all
once.
Danes though. Maybe Madi farted in a cereal when he was 8,
But it's
and now
weird,
he
'cause
hates.
isn't
Now
Modi-
he's just a racist.
Yeah, Modi is the Swedish in a Danish
He's the racist
lineup, right?
nationalist. Sorry.
Modi's Swedish in a Danish lineup, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it gets even more confusing now. Just hates
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I love
irrational.
how
It's absolutely irrational.
We've just started just batting on
Red Eye's hate
Red Eye.
for Dignitas. When you think about it, how irrational he must be to hate a Swede on another team,
Of course,
which has caused them to
for
dislike
anybody who
Dignitas so
doesn't
much.
get this, we are kidding. Red Eye has not made any thoughts known about Dignitas, their organization, or their players. But he may have tampered with their PC.
That's
we
what
don't
happens
know.
when you give.
I'm actually pretty sure he was playing on the other side as well, which might ruin that theory a little bit. But he could have snuck it. Maybe it was the Chinese.
It was the Chinese. That's the easy. No, the Chinese our Chinese overlords have a clean slate. Top Dignitas. There was a poster of the Dignitas logo, and he was just like smoking. I don't know what he was smoking, but the eyes were red.
Of course, if they do win this map and the next, that beautiful beard will be gone.
Someone needs to make like a Rugga worried emote because sometimes he's just sitting there, he's looking stoic, and he's looking straight, and he just looks terrified or like worried.
He's scared of his
Even
beard.
when they're winning, though.
Scared of his beard, that's what it is.
Terrified of his own manliness.
That beard must have taken a lot of time
Look
to
at the
grow.
vascularity on Body's arms right now. This guy's arms look like, this guy looks like a tree. Legend.
That's what it takes to have those deagle skills, guys. You need to have that strong on your arms.
I wish I understood Russian.
So do I. Okay. I'm not going to read some of the words on that because I'm pretty sure, although I don't know the exact meaning, I don't think they're stream friendly. Can we get a blur? Looks like
Oh,
Scream.
I get it. I translated it and then I read nuggets. I get it.
Yeah, it definitely look like it is on the Dignitas side of things where the problem is at the moment. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean we just have to sit here and make more sort of conspiracy theories about Red Eye sabotaging teams.
He's salty, man.
Well, he did. We put pretty much the whole pressure of the UK on his shoulders.
The whole pressure of the... What are your expectations like?
Not very high, but at the same time, it would have been nice for someone from the UK to win something in Counter-Strike. It's been a little while. Been a long while, actually.
Well, at least now you don't have to be compared to Europeans.
That's true.
Because you aren't them.
Yeah, we're now our own. Yeah, that's arguably even worse. Although we've sent a couple of players to NA as well. You got Complexity.
Yeah,
A couple of Brits in there, so it's still getting around. So I don't know. We've got a little bit of hope in.
Do you feel like it's a UK win when Complexity? They don't often win, but when they win,
It depends because I think a lot of the lands. I think Keo actually shows up as well. So
also pretty British, yeah.
yeah, he's now just fully fledged.
You gotta take him. You gotta take him.
It's like what England does when, say, for example, in tennis. Say Andy Murray wins something, he's British. When he loses, he's Scottish. That's how we do it. We just absorb stuff, and basically, as the English, we go, yeah, no, if he's good, we'll take him. It's sort of like in football, in the Olympics, for example. We can then say we want Gareth Bale, even though he's Welsh. Whereas in other things like the World Cup, we don't do that anymore. So if we get an excuse, we will take other. So Keo is now ours. I don't think he'll be too happy with that.
Yeah,
but
he's not originally from France, right? He is.
I think his flag says French.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got that mixed up.
Well, there's plenty of Belgians and other players mixed in. Of course, Scream
Belgian. Yes.
I saw a little bit of the Belgium team as well, which looks pretty good. It's got Existence in there as well, of course. And see what they can do in this sort of international style of things. In terms of talent-wise, you definitely do go towards Sweden, France, definitely the Danes as well.
Yeah, the Danes now especially. Like, SK it seemed like a tier 2 team that were never going to be anything but tier 2 until like last month, basically.
Well, yeah, it definitely seems like roster changes away from them that seemed to be negative at the time have actually turned out to be incredibly positive. Like Volder coming in as well, he's looked incredible.
Yeah.
Like especially playing against Astralis, he was very, very good. We saw him play against Tai Lu. He was the defining factor, acing the last round to take them over the line. And you saw Kirby do the same thing when they were to take it over the line as well, acing towards the very end. So definitely a lot of talent. I'm looking forward to seeing which one of those teams actually come out on top. Of course, in this tournament, the one that's got the furthest is playing right now and looking to try and take it one step further, get to the final and remove Rugga's beard.
They kind of would. To me, if they win, so Rugga tweeted. For those who don't know, he's the coach of Dignitas.
The guy who looks terrified.
Terrified that he's gonna lose. You guys are winning dust2. I'm gonna have to shave my beard. He's thinking about himself right now, and how desperately he wants to hang on to that thing. But yeah, he tweeted that if Dignitas make finals, he's going to shave his. That's one reason to root for Dignitas for sure.
I don't know. I quite like his beard. Like
I
at the
know,
same time, I
just for the
wonder if
memes.
he's just will it be a video? That's what I want to know. I think we need to contact. Look, we can see him in the corner right there.
Yeah.
You can see that beard.
Look, he's touching it. You can feel
Oh.
it's going.
It looks like we may be getting back in soon because everybody seems to be sat back in place. Of course, still have a couple of players that don't have their headsets on, so not sure if it's all fixed, although there we go, Shocks. Still hoping for some of the glory of the last map. This has been an extended break though, so in terms of momentum, it could give a little bit back to G2.
Yeah.
At the same time, had a little bit of a pause and
Oh,
allowed...
that was Red Eye's plan.
That was the thing. The StarSeries guys, they didn't take it seriously. They didn't take a pause when things were going wrong.
Who? Sorry?
When StarSeries were playing up against the Chinese earlier this morning.
Oh.
They didn't call a pause. Natu, coach, should have saw that one coming.
I spent the morning healing.
They have changed their buy.
Oh, wait, are they? Yeah, they...
They have changed it.
That's such
Sly stuff, G2.
It makes sense, man. That was a snap buy and a half. They had like 3 promises, no nades.
So
I'm
now
very...
they've thought about it a little bit more. Maybe thought it was a rash decision and decided to go back to just some pistols and say, Body, he's about to be isolated again. This seems to be happening way too often where he is an individual. It's not too much of a problem in this round. But for the rest of it, that's what, like the 4th time now he's had to single-handedly take hold of B with 4 players around him. That's crazy, crazy stuff. Shocks looking for a little bit, but Magisk is calm and collected. Sprays down 2. 1 more player left, RPK, clean round.
Clean round. And I'm not going to write G2 out of this until like, if the half is over and they have 2 rounds, then yeah, I'll definitely write them out. Like, Dignitas are going to roll, but like, I feel like G2 could get started at any moment, and it's dust2, and Dignitas lost their map pick. There's just a lot of factors involved. And yeah, this buy is much better. You know, they go down a round, but ultimately to have an op, to have these 3 kits, Smith's coming out, dust2 opper extraordinaire, opening frag on Cage and B, taking him out of the round. This is one of the only times they've gotten 5v4 and just held on to it for a few moments.
Yeah, already Cajun is out of the round. Rubino will recover that AWP, and a much better start. Smith's doing his job, and well, he's now gone back over towards Car. Of course, in terms of presence, they are looking like they're about to flash straight through mid, going for the smoke on either side, which allows them to get quite far out. Actually looking to go for a boost here as well. This is quite a smart decision. I like the idea.
This thing is so meta. It's like this smoke, and then, you know, people don't often even play off of it, but CTs always check it and to try to call it out. And it seems like he almost saw the head of a player right there. Scream taking some damage. Going to push out of the site with his teammate from window, though. And there it is. The kills come out. They make it happen.
Yeah, Magisk will manage to trade 1 back, but that's it. It seems like the decision to go for a little bit of a save in the last round has actually paid off quite nicely. Of course, nice little round there. The crossfire, we see Shocks doing damage actually from mid, so possibly a little bit of a gap in the smoke, or also the smoke just fading and taking their time too much. Scream, 1 kill could have actually played much higher dividends than expected. He will throw out the smoke, which is more of just a gap. Smith's going to get taken low as well. Magic's really giving a go at this. He's only got 25 seconds, but Smith's is pretty much alone here. Oh. This actually gives a good opportunity for Magic to get all the way onto the site and plant the bomb. That's exactly what he's going to go for. Planting it in the corner. That's already not a bad position from him. Peeks out. There goes Body. He's picked up that AWP and he will take him down, but still more than possibly expected. The secondary AWP will also be picked up as well. So something more to play with in the next. And G2, they're back on the board.
Yeah, that was really careless of Smiths, honestly, to jump up on the site like that, to try to take that frag when he could have delayed on ramp for the rotate when he knew that someone was there. He should have been lucky enough to have avoided that dope-ass one-way that Magic Boy threw to do damage, that he survived that. But G2 overall, 4 players alive, really solid round, just trades across the board. Shocks up against the wall, getting that 2nd kill, super nice from him. And then mid B just comes to a halt.
Oh, there we go, though. Smiths this time is going to be lost, taking that peek towards middle. Cajun this time gets his revenge. The secondary AWP will be picked up by none other than Scream. Not the most expected AWPer in the team at the moment, and may even go and swap that with Body. depending on the positions they're actually playing. We are looking at Shox very aggressive at the moment, and he's got to be careful. They're about to come around the corner. He's missed the shot, and that's going to be a config. He takes that frag, and this leaves the side open. Scream will actually trade one back in the meantime, peeking aggressively, but they now know this is an A hit. So much for RPK to do. The flashbang has done its job, but he's going to get blinded straight back. Now have to push all the way back towards the spawn. Not going to go too much here. We are looking at the position of Magisk again, holding angles. Body and Scream both isolated by the Molotov, and you do have to wonder whether this is actually worth challenging. A lot of after-plant positions of 4 versus 3. The smoke, in fact, going to block them out even more. And look at Magisk. He's come around the back, goes for the spray down, finds both kills. That's nice work on the exits. Not going to allow anything to be saved now. RPK, he will take him down eventually. Actually grabs a second as well, so doing some more counter damage. But that's all it's going to be, counter damage. Maybe a save of an AWP as well.
Yeah, it is kind of important because Dignitas just came back to win the round right after G2 lost. This is going to be nothing but a hard reset. However, RBK picking up this off is a really great find. It makes this next round quite scary for Dignitas. But Cajun coming right back, opening up with a pick against Smiths. Both operas getting neutralized. And it's actually Scream to recycle the up and finally get a pick for his team. But Shock's not getting a kill on Cat. That was really rough because he was aiming to the left, got shoulder peek from the right. And yeah, this was really nice shooting from RPK. He, in my opinion, is kind of like the Mahdi of the team with just his aim. Insane headshots, kind of moves around pretty slowly.
Oh, look at the aggression. This crossfire is doing wonders, though. Body finds 2 with the pistols. Smiths grabs 1, or Scream, sorry, and it's going to be that backward position now. 2 versus 3. Smiths has an AWP in hand. Looking for something a little bit more here. The rotation already coming out from Shox. He is going to be on that flank point. Caught with a nade in hand, though. Config adds this back into an even scenario, giving the T-side a much better chance of holding on to this. In fact, in a 2v2, you almost have to favor them. Here comes that push. Cajun's ready, finds the first, looking for that second, but Config chimes in. Really nice hold there.
Yeah, Config had 4 kills in the round, I think. Yeah, sweet 4K in the afterplant. Shock's getting caught off guard once again. He's got to be really frustrated. That was such a winnable afterplant situation, and they didn't manage to do it. So G2, yeah, they're going to need your energy and your dabs and all of your dabs. Oh, man. That's great. Yeah, this is a tough situation. And did they... That was actually after RPK saved the op, and then they decided they were able to buy up behind it. Yeah, wow.
So that's a big problem in terms of economy. Looking like Dignitas are just playing phenomenally well. In terms of team play, it seems to be working wonderfully. And I don't know what G2 can do to respond to this. It's quite phenomenal, really, how strong they've actually been on this T side. They've been picking players apart, trading effectively, having different players across the board tech up.
Well, it's
tech
kind of
up. I read tech pause. Step up. There we go. English. Thank you very much. And yeah, I don't really see too many weak links once again.
I think if G2 embraced the aim, like an aim-based, fast-paced style of playing, and so they put the onus on themselves to meet themselves halfway and hit those shots, right? So they have to hit more shots, and that's something you can't really say for a lot of teams. Like, this is your problem, or I mean, it always comes down to trades, and in some capacity. But for G2, there's such a heavy emphasis on it, and that's why there's always, like, from someone looking at the game from an analytical point of view, you appreciate a team who does put more focus on the team-based aspect, so that it's because that results in more that provides more consistent results. But G2 do have insane results and do have they have semblance of team play. They do stuff really great in pairs and stuff like that. It's just there's just not a heavy focus on 5-man executes instead of and more fast splits and stuff like that. And so, because of their play style, it's just probably hard to make sure that they're always on point. Like, some of the positions maybe they played, it's tough to try to trade them. Like, I think Shox on Cat was hoping he could get a pick, fall off, jump into CT, and then get back to safety, which is a common thing to do. And when you have like 5 players jumping over,
That's amazing. That's amazing. They're trying to avoid the scope of Cajun, so they boost on each other's heads.
No. Well, not only that, but they were trying to avoid being
Sneaky,
spotted
yeah.
whatsoever, so that they could bait Dignitas into rushing B. because they don't necessarily know how many crossed, but leaving the door open means that Dignitas are going to count, and they're going to be like, oh, only one crossed. So let's go B. There's really no reason not to.
That's amazing. I love it. And actually,
I didn't know how many people got away with it because it looked like they just were getting spotted, but maybe they did.
Rubino already going to find one, and well, this is where you wonder if they do know how many players there. They've already hit body as well, so.
I don't really, like, if you're going to stack the site and get in the site, then I think you really need to stay hidden until you get to your choke points, because you're not winning duels long range. If they go mid-B, they're going to be posted on window. So why take that duel, I wonder?
Yeah, Shock's also isolated. We'll open this up now. They're going to have to go aggressive and config with the spray control. Nice work there. MSL, they'll close this out. So the idea, seemingly a good one, but I like the execution of it more.
Yeah.
Just to see the X-rays of it just looks absolutely batty. But
yeah, it's comical. And how we moved in the last round of the half, I can't believe I'm seeing this, but a 4-11 potential half for G2. I mean, potentially a 12-3 half for Dignitas. I guess the better way to look at it. And 4 ops and an auto sniper. Actually, yeah, everyone's going for an aggressive pick as well. Should be an effective way to open up the round, but no picks have come out just yet.
Yeah, of course, not losing any players in the last round means that all the weaponry that they had prior is still in play. MSL actually going for an aggressive peek over towards B. Body in combination with Scream. Again, still we do have Smiths on that AWP. Definitely hasn't had the impact which he is renowned for on this map. This is the one map where you go, you know what, this is Smith's map. This is the map where he is, well, arguably one of the most influential players. Either way, there's Rubino. Quick kill with his body to trade, and the smoke will allow the T to actually fade back. Not a bad trade, of course, for the T side. Again, no utility for the CTs at the moment. They have a few flashes, but that's about it.
Yeah, Stream tried to catch him off guard, and it was really a timing thing, but I think Body could have just like tossed a flash in for him. Oh, maybe he doesn't even have one, actually.
That's a big problem, utility. Still very slow round coming out from Dignitas. They're just going to play with this man advantage, or not man advantage, but this even position, which does normally still leave an advantage for the Ts. Of course, Shocks is actually rotating back towards the B site. One of the big problems they've had is the fact that Body has been isolated over towards this B site, and now we look to see whether or not they'll actually go in that direction. Still playing this very slow. 2 players are around that long position, but actually Smith's holding on Carr means that this is going to have to be an RPK showdown. He's ready and waiting. He does have time. If he drops this bomb, there goes Smiths. He does rotate quickly, and Cajun caught out. Smiths goes huge!
Damn.
That's it. No scope with the AWP, and well, it's looking like an 11-4 as Smiths steps up in the last round.
Bang, make it 4. Smith closes the door on long. No problem for him, and that is maybe signs of life from G2, them starting to get heated up. Not sure how, if we can count how many times, that's a Red Bull ad right there, but.
That third shot, and not what Cajun just caught out after missing a shot, but that is just wonderful, and even finishes it off with the through the box at the end, tracing. But they still lost 11-4 in that half. It was a lovely round.
You can't forget, they're still only down to 4 rounds. Yes.
But they still only managed 4 rounds on the CT side, and that's going to be a tough one to come back from Scream. Going with that Deagle, Smiths with a little bit of utility, which should allow them to peek out as well versus Magisk, and now they are just going to take over long control. Of course, the USPs do have that sort of favor, but I guess this is where Scream has to step up with this Deagle. Looking for the shots, not going to find the first, and Magisk is happy to take this challenge. He knows that he should be winning these longer range duels, especially versus the Glock. Cajun, that's a nice shot, and the second as well. Going for a little bit more. Smiths will manage to cross over, and Scream did actually take Magisk down. The boost comes out. Config missing a lot. Smiths, he's going to bring this back to an even scenario as the push now comes in. Scream finding a tag or 2. There we go. Scream brings it down to just 1. And Rubino, he's got to try and fight this back after a nice start to the round from Cajun. It has all fallen.
Oh, that was actually such an interesting and creative pistol. That's not necessarily over, Rubino. Wow, wow, that was honestly one of the sickest pistols I've ever seen. Like, the long smoke wasn't good, but let's say that landed properly and Cajun to get those 2 frags. That's a really decisive round right there. And yeah, but what was really cool was They had Scream posted up in pit and gave him a gun that's like better for long range on the pistol and had him just take the attention away from everybody at long. They threw the flash over to make sure no one could corner peek. Rounding went exactly as planned, and all the while they had all the troops march up the side of the wall and then cross the smoke without anyone really knowing. It was really cool.
Magisk with an awful lot to do. Deeg not going to combine there, but Config's found one. Quickly traded out. RPK will find that frag, and well, Body's already got the AK over into pit. Already a little bit of a rotation in terms of the CT side, but they're still holding quite far back. They've got Cajun with the scout. Shox is waiting for them to rotate through. 2 have armor, 1 without head armor, and there we go, MSL with the Deke doing the damage. Back to a 3 versus 3. They get to really take this long control, and well, Cajun is holding with the scout. He finds the tag. These tags are so much more valuable, especially now that there's a Mac 7 in play, or Mac 10 even in play, and that's a nice shot. MSL doing the damage, looking towards screen. The bomb is on the site for him. He's got to try and find these shots, but they're all so low at this stage that a couple of bullets, even a chest shot from that D could in fact do the damage. Look at Cajun, he's up close. We know how effective this jump scout can be. Scream, he's going to hit that one tap. Looking for a little bit more Body. There we go, finds a shot. They are bringing this one back. Rubino, he still has his 5-7 in play. They don't know his exact position, but now he's been spotted by Scream. He knows that he can go for this safe plant. Sat behind the boxes, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He does have cover. Gives a little bit of a chance for Rubino. Finds the first, but not going to connect the second.
Wow, really close call for Rubino. Almost getting that 1v2. That first kill, huge. But I like the double peek. Again, I mean, some teams play it really safely, but once you got that guy crossing cat, your goal is to try to hit them while moving. Ideally, it's when they're pressing W because it's super hard to counter strafe that. So like running forward at you as opposed to like A, which is really easy to counter strafe. But either way, out in the open, nowhere to run. That's when you want to. That's when you want to pounce.
Now we look towards this aggressive push. Of course, this is a good opportunity now for them to get back into this game. Rubino up close, not going to achieve anything in this circumstance. They have done a little bit of damage.
They'll just run out the doors.
Look at this aggression. They know what they're up against. They're just going to go all the way through, try and take the challenge and just show their dominance in this anti-eco round.
They just feed off this. They feed off the aggression. They try to get hotter and hotter, right? Get that snowball bigger and bigger, rolling down the hill. It's like a team of Nevermores. Every time they kill something, they get stronger.
There's a chance for an exit here. Scream's pretty low on HP. RPK also getting tapped away. Smiths will add another little extra bit of money, and eventually Shox will close out that round. So a clean one for G2. Looking at what the CTs went for there, because they actually completely saved into that round. Or was that the... No, that was the next one, wasn't it? They've already bought up with the pistols, of course. So, yeah. Now we come in with a buy. And that's why we saw Shox get rid of his SMG. And this is where they really do look to do the damage. They don't have an AWP, of course. Cajun not going to be able to get that back in play and play that classic car position, which he is so amply known for. 3 players aggressively pushing out towards long, and they are just going to make sure that they take that fairly convincingly. It does leave middle open for the beginning part of the rounds, but with Rubino spotting, they should know roughly if anything comes aggressively through.
Smith's going to try to make his value known on T side with this op. And the Xbox smoke coming out. This is good for shying people away from cat, even if you don't use it, but also allows you to have cover from mid as the standard, more classic way to use it, obviously. Everyone posted up right here, and it looks like they might just do something right away. Got one man, I think that's Shox to go late long. Dignitas might clue into this. Won't move too quickly, but if this is really going to come down to who gets these kills right away.
Config is underneath, but Body takes him down. And quick kills from Body, 2 headshots to open up this round. Magisk, he is trying to bring this back. He's very effective from long. And he's just going to try and hold on to this position. And he's actually going to take it, but it's quickly traded. Body, he's doing all the work in this round. Got himself 3 kills. And look at the remaining 2. Rubino, MSL. I don't think they have too much of a choice here but to save. And what a big round coming out from Body.
Man, Body being it always blows my mind how amazing Body is as a player, how good he's gotten as well. And yeah, 3 headshots like that. Both the entries, spotting Config falling back through the smoke and finding his head somehow, and then turning around, dealing with the other guy at A, just dismantling Dignitas in a situation where they were set up perfectly for a cat exec. Had 3 towards A, had 1 to keep the long guy honest. That was Shox, and Magisk Boy, the only one to get kills through that smoke was a late long rotator. Did his job, but no one else could contribute.
This does give a bit of a legway back in for G2 now. We spoke about their T side. So far, it is looking pretty good. Of course, only one buy round has come in. It didn't involve an AWP, so definitely something that has to be considered, especially when they've taken short.
Yeah.
In terms of this round, not actually going to go for anything.
No,
I
yeah, this
do
is just
think
an
that
even
might be
up.
a smart decision. Because, of course, Magisk, he got a kill or two in the last round, so that's an extra little bit of money. And ultimately, it's really Cajun that we want to see going for that AWP.
I quite like this, just an even up buy where you got MSL buying in a M4 along with Rubino, just so they all have about 3K. They're going to be able to buy next round, and here have a pretty good chance. Magic had an opportunity there. Missed a few bullets along with Shocks, though, but Shocks had the better gun, so more responsibility to get that kill. Enzo Body, there it is, another entry. Very important kill on MSL. All alone on Cat, I actually don't like that at all. I mean, if he had some way to have someone assist him, I mean, maybe this isn't a setup they use on a full buy, but...
He's managed to get Shocks back, $600 as well, by using the SMG. Rubino does so much damage. Look how low they are. This actually gives a good opportunity. Now, Config, he's found two, and that's a hell of a lot of damage, considering all that was two saved weapons, a buy-up of the UMP from Magisk to balance out the cash.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a lot of damage. I mean, it seems like some of those bullets on another day would have just been 2 headshots right there, but unfortunately for him, this is not one of those days. Now, Dignitas are going to be responding with a double op setup. Rubino only has 5 kills so far in this game. It's going to be one of the people opping right now. And oh, there it is, number 6 in a very important round. Takes down Shocks on the repeat, punishing for that.
And already a lot of nade utilage doing damage to the remaining players of G2. Of course, a man down early on. Not the easiest thing to come back from. They do have another AWP in play at the moment onto Smiths, and on the CT side have a double AWP setup of their own. Utility-wise, don't have too many Molotovs, just a few smokes and flashbangs, mostly onto Config and Cajun, meaning there is still opportunities now to find holes, especially when you look at the amount of utility being held by the T side.
Oh, it's actually A, that's a little bit weaker right now, but there's no way that Dignitas are going to be set up any other way because they have 2 ops. So they're fortified, really, right now on both sides of the map equally. And over on Cat, the only difference right now with this Cat take is Shocks isn't around to deal with the long player. But last round, he failed at long, and they still won because Body hit the entry. So I'm saying, as long as he's still alive, there's still an opportunity right now for G2 to win.
They're looking like they're about to throw these smokes straight in. Flashbangs to follow. Counter smokes have fallen out, which gives a good chance now. The smoke will land straight in front, but it's Config this time doing the work. Cajun once again finding these frags, and it's all down to RPK, at least to do some damage. Looking tempted to jump back down there. Finds a kill onto Cajun. Looking for a second. Magic jumps up, but he'll find the frag.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Config. Another wrench in the plans, actually, from CT. This time didn't get blind, managed to avoid the flash and be in a position to get the kills instantly as they spawn dropped. So a little bit of confirmation bias for G2, who tried that strat previously and were able to deal with him so easily. Now know that he's also a threat, and that shuts down one of their options. Another full buyout, though, however. G2 within 3 still. And it's missed with the op one more time.
Again, we see Magis getting into that long spot with a little bit of support from his teammates early on. I do quite like that aggression, because if there is a rush, they're definitely fortified and ready for it. However, it is going to be slightly delayed, and this leaves a lot in Magis's hands. They're already getting very close onto him, but the flash is perfect. It actually catches him as well. That's the only problem, giving Scream the opportunity. The smokes have been thrown in just for this very take. And
right
Body,
over the smoke.
What a shot there. Finds that kill, leaving just Config on the site. He's got so much to do, wants to try and retake short, but Shocks is not going to allow that. This is the site done and dusted, and well, you have to look at Rubino MSL. Don't think this is worth the challenge.
Oh, that's awkward. Oh, not enough time remaining on that molly to kill him. But wow, Body over the top of that smoke. That was an excellent long take. They really got out there quick, and sometimes if you wait too long, like, you have to succumb to the flashes of like Magis Boy in that situation, but he didn't give him time to set up, and that was really good. So they do it. Everyone contributing on entries there.
Now looking to try and end the lives of a couple more players. MSL hasn't actually been spotted. The footsteps will have been heard, so Rubino should be aware that somebody's coming in his direction. Actually, MSL is there to cover, so nice work there from the team to try and keep this going. They want to keep these rifles in. Of course, the AWP, very valuable for them, and it has been a backwards, forwards couple of rounds. G2 Up to 10.
Also, that was so sick from Shox, wasn't it? He like took that fight on Cat, took like 40 damage, 60 damage, and then fell back to a headshot angle, and then just took the fight from there, and then just won on the headshot angle. Like what's up? Aim at me.
But that was a big point as well, because if Config had won that battle, they probably would have gone for that, because he would have had short control.
Short control, yeah.
And that, it just completely changes how the take goes. He could have even peeked back in at some point, or if they retake long, they have 2 avenues to attack from. So big kill coming in from Shox, an impactful one nonetheless. Still at 10-12 though, so Dignitas have their lead. The only problem is all they have in this round once again is these 2 saved weapons. So Rubino on the AWP, not going to drop that to Cajun, mainly probably due to the armor, but with an AWP it normally doesn't matter too much. In fact, it is just because he's going to go fairly aggressive here, looking for RPK. You wouldn't expect him to peek this one completely dry, and in fact, he's not going to do that. He's just checking if there's any further aggression. Again, short looks to be the play.
Yeah, now this is bittersweet because Rubino has this info. Look at this A stack already, so even though he didn't get killed there, they know that it's going to be this side of the map. But they have avoided the op, and it's actually an eco. I didn't notice that. Everybody's got pistols to work with.
Yeah, there's only a couple of rifles in play. MSL is one of them, and he has found himself a kill. Shox quick on 2 trades. Headshots all the way, and that's a lot of kills in a little amount of time. Rubino, well, he may look for an exit here now, just escape. Yeah, smart decision, exactly expected, and he's just going to go running for the hills. 40 seconds to survive. He looked like he was tempted to go for another peek towards long, but decided against it.
Yeah, way too valuable at the moment, so it's good that he's turned around. Tail between his legs, going to go save this gun. The man Shox gets his feet planted on the ground, starts counter strafing back and forth and just aim mapping. You know, heads are going to get popped.
And, well, the big thing to highlight now, so that's going to be a 7th round this half for G2. 1 has come in for Dignitas.
Yeah. Overall, very successful. And they were able to force the reset, right? At some point, I can't actually press tab and check for myself, but
I think they'll have a buy. Yeah, they did. They definitely won one in the sort of mid round, but I do think they have a buy now because they were just saving the saved weapons from the previous round.
Right.
Will be coming in. So that's definitely going to be a buy on the board, and they've saved an AWP. So that even if I do think Cajun will probably have enough to buy his own one anyway, but even if they don't want to do that, they can just drop that over and save themselves some extra cash.
Rugga's like, do I really want this beard?
And that's actually what they've done. Magisk, in fact, ends up with no armor, which is questionable. Rubino takes an aggressive peek, and it does actually work out now. Magisk, he has no armor, but holds the angle, and actually does way more than he should have been able to achieve when he doesn't have any armor there. Just holds it nicely, looking for more is Body. Config running straight through the smoke. He's completely blind, Body. Actually not going to spot him, but Scream with the AWP will save his teammate's life, trading this back into an advantageous position. Not sure if Config got a little bit lost there with his line of sight, but a lot of low HP players still gives a huge opportunity. MSL, he's got to be careful though, because Scream, he's now back on a rifle, not the AWP anymore. He was, of course, towards long. He will hear that being planted, but the steps he's just made could actually give away his position. Scream looks ready and raring to go for this peak, and he knows exactly where he is. The sound does give him away, leaving just Cajun, and once again, looks like they're going to just have to try and save this AWP. Back to 12-12, G2.
Wow, yeah, tied up after an 11-4 half. Never thought we'd see this. Never thought we'd see this. And they so frantically tried to retake A going through the smoke, and it was actually G2 to run across, smoke up everything, jump on the box, but not go farther than that, wait by the smoke. And because of that, Dignitas assumed they were already on site, like getting ready to plant. Nope, they were just waiting for you to push and punish you. Now, so it's not only that, but it's by save, right? It's going to be Cajun to have this money, but the rest of his team not going to be in a great place.
And this leaves them now with the decision to make about a force. I don't think it'd be worth it now. They're going to have 3,400 coming in the next round anyway, so, yeah. Or at least I assume. Still a little bit confused as to where that round came in that they lost, but I do think either way, Cajun should be able to afford an AWP. Has been at least 4 rounds in a row now, so AWP in play.
AWP in play, yeah, at least 4 rounds in a row. They'll probably buy behind the AWP if everyone's got max loss and he can drop a gun. Almost certainly. It depends how much money they have left over. Unfortunately, we can't see, but Yeah, either way, I don't know, man. D2 are getting away with simple stuff. I mean, long control, they're winning duels. Actually, on that round, it was 4v5. It was Shocks to lose a duel to Rubino in lower, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then Magisk also found a. So it was actually, well,
3v5 for a moment.
3v, yeah, I suppose, for about a split second.
Yeah.
But he also did 90-odd damage to another player, spraying away.
Oh,
and he didn't have any armor this round. So.
That's right. And then those 2 kills just were offered up because Dignitas decided to flash through the smoke. Maybe if they had a man advantage at that point, could have slowed it down, performed a boost maybe over the smoke, and tried to just deny the planet first, or slow down G2, work on a big flank, something different, but potentially too aggressive.
Yeah, it's a mistake that, well, can sometimes end in big plays. That's the other thing. Like, it's a risky decision when looking in hindsight, but at the time it may have seemed like the right one to make. You can see they are going to go for the eco in this round, just the AWP, and, well, Cajun is actually going to go for an aggressive push. Definitely the right decision here. He's got to make a play with this AWP. I think they've saved that AWP now for about 3 or 4 rounds in a row on different players, so it has been in the game a lot longer than probably expected. A long control once again will go, but there's actually 4 players around this A side, just leaving one MSL with 18 HP in the corner. It's not going to matter though, as Shocks enters onto the site. Again, as said, they've got long control, but they do have to be careful. Magisk, in fact, going to find one, but now we have to look at this AWP. This is where Cajun, he has to go huge, and he misses the shot completely. RPK is going to open up, actually finds a second as well. Now we look at just some sort of, well, throwaway frags. They just have to try and run and do something crazy. Not even going to find anything here.
I have some sympathy for Cajun at that moment. He, like, unpeaked for, like, 1 second, came back, and there's, like, 4 players there. I'm sure his eyes just went crossed, like, how do you even pick a target in that situation? That's really tough. He just wanted to get out of there, but yeah.
Well, that's it. The second time I think that they've run down that left side and caught out a player on the side. Or was that on the other half?
Yeah, they did it on the pistol. Yeah, they did it on the pistol, and it works really well because you can't op the close wall unless you're out by barrels, in which case everyone can see you in the first place. You don't really have a place to hide. So yeah, a very powerful thing once you have long control to be able to do that, no doubt.
Lot of utility, double AWPs, AKs, plenty of leftover cash for G2 as well. They almost look primed and ready to take this one over the line. Rubino actually gets caught out, but MSL is there, still on the site, looking for the trade, the flash. Scream finds 2 though, and now Smiths has found 1 on the rotation. A retake of this B site looking ever unlikely as Magisk and Cajun go all the way back towards long. And this round is as good as done. Again, they're going to have to go for a save. Will have a buyback in the next round off of the drop of these players, depending on how likely they are to stay alive.
Yeah, I would have actually. I don't know if they wanted to try to find this. Cajun might have a shot here. Body probably got the message. He actually has the info that players were on cat, or excuse me, towards long. They mollied him out, and he decided to walk through it. And now is going to be taking a fight. This should be a kill. Oh, yeah, he's spotted. Tries to go bait out a shoulder bait with a shoulder peek. Doesn't do it enough times. Gets killed. And Cajun might have a shooting gallery. I don't know, they're going to boost up, maybe double peek, but he's too low. He's isolating them quite well in their shots. Wow. Not the man you want to see, looking right in the eyes of Cajun. Yeah, winning that AWP duel. Magisk is going to want to recover this AWP, but he's getting pushed up on.
Yeah, they actually don't know where he is, so he will spray down too.
Nice.
That's definitely the best case scenario there. Is going to go for the AWP, and Smith's given a split second to take that shot, doesn't actually manage it. G2 signs still up and ready. Probably weren't as happy after that first half, all the G2 fans. I'm not actually sure what's supposed to be on that screen. That is just plain white.
They never lost faith.
Never lost faith.
Not for a moment.
But one round so far on the CT side. I was sort of raving about how good sometimes Dignitas can be on their CT side. Not looking like it at the moment. Missed shot from Smiths will mean that Pit has been taken over. No AWP, of course. That was based off the save idea that they would have had a fall by. Instead, they don't save anything. Smoke, however, will leave Smiths with no choice but to fall away.
So we identified the setup. We got one player, looks like he's messing around in spawn, might be jump spotting in case it's G2 to try to go for mid control, and then 2 players towards long. So a heavy emphasis towards A in general. I think config being in spawn, and it looks like we might be in store for another cat take, which is really cool because one round we've seen it go swimmingly, another round we've seen it fail, fall flat on his face because config was able to pick up the slack. That bomb getting dropped is really bad. That's a huge tell.
Already though, Cajun doesn't have his AWP this time, so just has to do the work with the rifle. Is a competent rifler on config again. This time he only gets 1, but these flashbangs are actually buying so much time. not chance of running out of time, but that flashbang is primed and ready, but it's not going to get a kill. 2 line up. And actually, it's going to be RPK to find it. Magisk again, he's been so influential from this long position in the past. He's got to try and do as much as he can, but Body is going to end his life getting down to the very end of this, and there we go.
God.
They are making this work. One more round.
What a monster. Oh my God. On that cat take, decided not to spawn drop, went 1 for 1 with config. Everyone took a ton of damage, and we saw because they had that economic advantage, Cajun, even with that great flash from his teammate, everyone was blind, couldn't do the damage necessary with the FAMAS. The accuracy, the damage was just not adding up fast enough. Too many people were absorbing too many bullets. And, oh man, and that's it. And then G2 get match point off of that. Another buy, like the similar to the one we had last round. Single kit on config, single smoke on config. Actually, MSL has one as well, but that's not going to go a long way.
They've already won 11 rounds on their T side. They are looking to make that 12 and take this one over the line. The buy coming up against them is not a good one. 4 FAMASes, about the same in flashbangs as well, and 2 smokes to follow those up. 1 kit in the hands of config, so hoping that there's not a bomb plant. The aggression from Magisk is basically a counter, but he shot 1 bullet, so Shox will know he's there. But Body's quickly traded. Config ready on short. He's still actually holding. Scream going to go for this peak. Smith's holding with the AWP. They're tapping away. Cajun's going to go down. A little bit aggressive there, especially once his teammate has fallen back. Shox taken down, though. Config still trying to do the work. Rubino will be traded out. Config hits actually another dink, and they're very, very low at this stage. MSL is going to rotate in, and he will be waiting for his teammate Config. He's trying to take this one all on his own, but RPK has other ideas. It's all down to the in-game leader, MSL, to try and bring this one back. Smith's holding with the AWP, but he's not ready for it. RPK got to hit these shots, spamming away. He's down to just 37 HP. MSL not going to do it. RPK has closed this out. G2 make it through to the final.
Oh my God, they actually do it. I mean, I expected G2 to get to the final until we saw the run from Dignitas, until we saw that game that they just played on Cobble, and then this one on dust2, and it's unbelievable how close they actually got. But they couldn't do it. G2 just too sick. The entry's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's going to be hard for Team Dignitas. They were very, very good on their T side. It has to be 11 rounds. Probably could have made it 12. It was only the last round. Smith's going absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Remember that round now, and well, you think about it, they got 1 round on their CT side. Wasn't enough, and G2 showing their prowess on the T side.
Incredible stalwart defense, showing that they're tenacious, resilient.
Of course, I imagine we will be having an interview relatively shortly, so we will just wait for Stefan to take over onto the stage. Of course, that is it from me and you in this tournament. We will be handing the final over to Sadikis and Henry to take that one away. The premium casters ready, back and waiting. Of course, I've enjoyed this. That was an incredible game. The T side of both teams was impeccable. It's just that a little bit better, and well, I'm a little bit disappointed for Dignitas. I have to feel, I was feeling the 3rd map coming up. I was like,
I could see the clean-shaven Rugga.
But it looks like we are ready for that interview on the stage. Of course, thank you very much. And oh, not ready? Oh. Now ready.
Now.
Okay, well, whatever. Back to Stefan.
Франция играет в финале. Наши аплодисменты. So, my friend, you know, it was very interesting to watch your playing on dust2, because Dignitas was on strong side, they were on defense, and your attack was amazing. Did you prepare something special for them, or it was just regular play?
We just played our game like we used to in general, and I guess that's how we know how to play, and that worked.
Okay, so I'm not prepared for Dignitas, just playing your game and that's all. Okay, let's take a look forward. Let's take a look to the grand finals when you're gonna meet such impressive team as Ninjas in Pyjamas. Do you remember your last game with them?
It was in ECS, in semi-final, I guess, and we won 2-0 against them.
And it was in London.
It was in London, yeah.
And in London you won all tournament.
We won the tournament, yeah.
Okay, right now you are in the capital of Ukraine, in the Kyiv. Last time that you beat NIP, it was in the capital of UK. UK and Ukraine, something very similar.
Yeah, something similar, yeah.
So wish you good luck. Большое спасибо вам всем, друзья. A little bit in Russian. We will come back to you guys after a short break, and after that we will start Grand Finals.
Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGO Fast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.
Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and StarCraft 2, the largest contests in the history of esports among the national teams. World Electronic Sports Games, the World Championship with the total prize